You know, sharing a main mechanic together with, in my opinion, one of the most toxic deck in the format is a really sad thing. Because if they're trying to make any support that trying to support both of them, they have to kind of make sure that it doesn't over support the other toxic deck while still playable in your deck.
Why are you like this?
And if you guys are wondering, yes, I'm talking about Eva and Arkhite. Like, seriously, she's such a poison in the paradise of the format. But does the new support that is given to Arkhite, inclusive of her new form, Innocent Monster in Paradise, actually improve? So that's exactly what I'm gonna be talking about today. So yes, we did get total of 4 monsters in total, but I feel the most crucial one are mainly 3 of them. The very first monster is technically generic, but it is specifically for Arkhite, and that is Thunderclaw Monster Lon. This unit has 2 skills where this is a 15k attacker when it attacking a greater or greater Vanguard if you have a research card. And at the end of the battle, this unit attack if you have greater or greater Vanguard with Arkhite in its name, retire this unit to draw a card. See the similarity there?
Interesting.
Yes, this card is literally Boulder X Dragon but in a monster form, and I think this helps the deck a lot because not only it does play into the newer playstyle of Arkhite by sending itself to drop zone, allowing it to be recycled back into the other zone later on, but also it helps you to draw a card, which is something that Arkhite, even after the support, is still lacking, at least in my opinion. But overall, it is a great card for a common and a really great step into the right direction for monster after having so many supports seem to dedicated more towards supporting the other researcher instead, which doesn't really need a support. But Lon is not alone because when there is a lightning, there is light, and that is exactly what Light Ray Monster Reelist actually is. An Arkhite Ray of Hope in the monster roster for Arkhite because it's, in my opinion, is one of the strongest that we have seen so far. And this card has 2 skills, technically, where when this plays on Red Card Circle by ability of your Arkhite Vanguard,
This unit.
get additional ability, where when this unit attack, you can counter blast 1, choose one of your opponent Vanguard, and it gets minus 5k until end of turn. And if your opponent Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this unit get additional 10k and critical until end of turn.
Damn, boy, he's thick!
And it cannot be chosen by card effects. So yeah, you have a monster that is kind of like a tower, on top of the fact that it has ability of 0. Like, we haven't seen a power menacing in monster until right now. And finally, the power menacing is in the right place. And let's be real here, this card is quite disgusting because if you combine it with cards like, well, now the red OT, that essentially 100 million K attacker that has additional crit that can minus your Vanguard power.
Genuinely disgusting.
The power menace doesn't really matter as much, but at least it helps. So this is a great upgrade for Arkhite. But does the new Arkhite actually hold the candle to all of this new support? I think so, as we have Innocent Monster in Paradise Arkhite. This card also being treated as Monster Creator Arkhite, the original, and it has 3 additional skills instead of just like what, 2? The first skill is a very simple Energy Blast tool. Choose up to 3 monster cards from your drop zone, put them into order zone, just helping to build the order zone. The second ability is kind of like the upgrade of the first ability, where when your record with monster is placed, you can send the card with the same name from order zone into your drop instead of the bottom of the deck, and that unit get 10k until end of turn. And last but not least, when attack a Vanguard, counter blast 1, choose up to 2 cards in monster zone with different name and call them to record circle.
Bit special.
So yes, finally, with all of the bloody build up with the torrential research order, you finally have some use for it other than just turning it into bullets for Arkhite skill. And this is a really great update to the skill because for one, now you are not putting normal unit back to deck, so you are not trying to expand your deck with normal units like Barrow Magnus does, but also it allows you to loop the cycle multiple times. And it doesn't really show on the unit itself, but the best part of this card is the fact that even if you manage to not getting any other torrential research aside from the right line, you are able to play this card just fine. And that's the biggest thing that we can get from this card. The fact that you do not really need to play up to 4 different torrential order to actually play this deck, but I do still think running 4 copy is still a necessity because that's the only way for the deck to actually filter, on top of course the better recycling as well.
It's amazing!
And considering all this effect together with cards like Reelist and Lon that we have seen, and then with cards like Cyclogard that help to put your monster card from your drop zone into your order zone, this turns Arkhite into not only a 5 attack deck, but also a deck that is extremely self-sufficient because you can just superior call stuff from from the auto zone anyway. And if you need to get more monster to hand before that, you do have Savoyard, which help you to essentially just get 2 monster to prep before that.
Synergy.
So Arkhite has a lot of recoverability now, but it does come at a cost, and that cost is her deck thinning capability. So I would suggest for Arkhite, I would recommend you to still running the original monster creator in your right line to actually still have a little bit of filtering before you actually go ham with Innocent Monster in Paradise. Overall, I have to say Arkhite has been on the downward trend since her launch, and for a very obvious reason, she being poisoned by another right line. But I can safely say, throughout those poisoning sessions, I think she still remained innocent.
Gay!
And I can safely say, even though she's not gonna be the most meta deck around, she is definitely at the stage where it's able to play toe-to-toe with the deck that is being played regularly in meta as well, or even better in some cases. But what do you guys think? Do leave down in the comments below. And yeah, that's all I have for today. Do sub to my channel and take care of yourself. This is Mac Megane signing out.